This video is a bit different. I want to try to make my video just about what I want to paint. So I want to do a paint with me series. So I'm just using a watercolor painting today, and I found some reference Ghibli studio, and I just want to pick a scene from Kiki's delivery. So I separated the paper into 3 segments. I'm just using the pencil to lightly sketch out what I want to draw in the scene, and I use those kneadable erasers to clean out some unwanted lines. I absolutely like how calming it feels to draw all those shapes of leaves, and I also found it quite satisfying to draw lines with those rulers and stuff. I poured the water on the paper to just wet it before watercolor, and apparently it was bit too much. Anyways, I want to talk about why I want to produce this painting. It's quite obvious that I want to get my own audience. I decided to change my life path quite largely. I might have mentioned it in the past, but I quit architecture and I quit construction management. So I just basically quit to kind of stable income job to do art, which isn't something out of blue because I've always been an art enthusiast. I studied art. I went to art schools, as you can see in the previous videos, and I've always wanted to be a painter, even though in a traditional way of thinking, painting doesn't really make you enough money. Since last year, I've been trying to make more content. I've been trying to make my own voice on all those platforms. I wasn't making money. I'm still not making money. I just making enjoyment. I feel my life more fulfilled than before, than when I was targeting each deadlines or plans sections of a new building that's never gonna be built. All of a sudden, my goal became way clearer. I was able to feel more pleased at the end of the day because I did one painting today. So basically it's a bit too far from this topic. I'm not expecting this video to go anywhere. Early this year, I had a bit of struggle period of time. I wasn't sure it was the right decision to give up a stable traditional career like that and I wasn't motivated because I never found a voice on social media. I never attracted anyone, and I still don't know how. Because I want to build a business. That's what I've always been saying. I want to build a brand, but what kind of brand? I don't know. And what kind of business? I don't know, except for those vague definitions like selling painting, originality, prints, merchandise. But that's how everyone use. So nothing makes me special, and all the point of me stepping outside of architecture studios was being different. So I'm not really being different, and I can't even find my own voice on social media. Because the problem of social media is the more you want it to work, and you need to be settled into a specific style and a specific hinge that attracts the same group of people more and more, and you slowly sell it, but like it's gradually becomes I'm selling the character that I created for views. So that's why I stopped posting short videos, I suppose, because gradually I haven't even sharpening my drawing skills enough. Then I put myself into a settled tone that I need to produce this painting today because it's on trend now, and it doesn't work for a long time. So back to I want a business. So early this year, I started basking, and growing up, I only know those artists on the street that painting people, that painting characters, older people, but I don't do characters. So I just know that, okay, I start basking, I do people, and I do it in my own way. And that's the moment, that's the time actually I started to make money, but it's still not a business. Like, it's more of a hobby. Just luckily I made a little bit of money, but it doesn't make sense, and that's why I've been trying to focus more on YouTube, and I did all those things that whatever I see on other creators do and how they attract their audience, and I do similar things. And I'm also not a person who's super good at learning, so it worked, but it stopped working, and it's up and down, and basically it's not working. So, well, I had a saying that sells, it's just me being a Chinese art student, but like, okay, that's my past. That's a part of my identity. But how do you build a brand out of I'm just a Chinese art student? Because there's tons of that. There's tons of that on Chinese social medias. There's nothing special. And so I guess this video is about trying to find my own voice. And I don't know how. So I'm just talking until I found out. So why I drew Kiki's delivery was that period of time I felt lost. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't making any more videos. I wasn't doing anything basically. And I was just on the bed and I was watching the movie. I found that this art style of Ghibli Studio is one of their selling points, and it's quite calm and really artistic to watch. There's literally nothing more than that. It was just, I feel like a painting is a frame of that time that I spent on this painting, so as films. When I remember a film, I remember what happened, how I felt when I watching that film. While I was watching Kiki's delivery, I felt I wasn't really going anywhere as an artist, and I wasn't even sure was I a good artist. Actually, good artist is overrated, but was I an artist or was I just a salesman online? And did I have good skills? Or did I not? It's been a big question because when I stopped drawing for 5 years, from 2019 to 2025, because of the mental health problems that's related to stress and almost traumatic response for a short while after 2019, when I decided to quit my art journey. I quit it because it's not because I wasn't winning in that competition game in China, but, or that's all in quotation marks, but I quit it because my family starts to fall apart. And I started to lose a sense of home. And that's why I left the country. So I was young and I was pretty sure drawing screwed up my family. And it's cursed. And I don't care how ridiculous it sounds, I believed in it for years. So it kind of stopped me mentally from grabbing the pen to draw. So every time I start it, I feel physically sick. So I restarted last year because I grew up quite a bit. I realized I just want to do what I want to do. It's not what the society wants me to do or anything. So that's why my skill seems kind of dull sometimes, because it's muscle memory comes to painting. And if you stop it for 5-6 years, you lose it at least to 1 degree. I live in Melbourne, and it was pouring in Melbourne, and the train system never works, especially in a bad weather. So I went on the replacement bus, and it was fogged, and I stayed outside. Barely, it's just all I could see was rings of lights, yellow, red, white, and those water drops on the window. And it was another frame of time. So that's what I'm drawing on the top and bottom parts of this paper. And all of that was just a frame of time. A frame of time that I wasn't sure what I'm doing. I was just snacking on bed and watching a movie. And that period of time is no definition. I wasn't doing anything. And while I was on the bus, I started to feel like I was going somewhere because I was busking, because I was making money, because things start to look more tangible ever than before. Now I'm recording this, which is 2 weeks after I completed this drawing. And now I look back, it was another time that I was trying, and I am still trying to let people see me. But more importantly, trying to find my own voice and find what makes me feel just 10% more fulfilled in a day. So now I'm revealing this work of mine, and that's just a frame of time in my life that doesn't need to be titled or doesn't need to be compared. And I hope I can find my own voice and my life, my brand. So that's paint with me. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.